Throughout history, a single bullet or blade has had the power to reshape nations and redefine the course of humanity. The assassination of a prominent leader or figure isn't just a violent act, it's often a turning point in history. From Julius Caesar's betrayal in ancient Rome to the tragic deaths of visionaries like Martin Luther King Jr., assassinations have sparked revolutions, wars, and societal upheavals. While security measures have become more advanced, history proves that even the most protected individuals aren't immune to the reach of a determined assassin. Welcome to the nautical depths, and let's explore the infamous assassins whose actions left an indelible mark on the world. 10. Assassination of Indira Gandhi by raging bodyguards. At number 10, we have the tragic assassination of Indira Gandhi. She was India's first and only female Prime Minister. The daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister, she became a prominent figure in politics after he died in 1964. Rising to power in 1966, she led the Congress Party as a unifying choice between its factions. Her tenure was marked by bold and controversial decisions, such as declaring a state of emergency in 1975. Her decision to order a military operation at the Golden Temple, the holiest Sikh shrine, led to her assassination in 1984 by her Sikh bodyguards Satwant and Bayant Singh. This act of revenge shocked the nation and left deep scars on India's political and social landscape. 9. Assassination of James A. Garfield by Charles J. Guiteau. At number 9, we have the assassination of James A. Garfield, the 20th President of the United States, whose presidency was tragically cut short. Garfield served only 4 months in office before being shot by Charles J. Guiteau, a disgruntled office seeker. Guiteau ambushed Garfield at a Washington, D.C. train station as the president was traveling to visit his sick wife. Claiming he acted on divine orders, Guiteau surrendered immediately. Garfield survived the initial attack, but endured 80 agonizing days of illness due to infection and blood poisoning. The public was captivated by Garfield's struggle with an outpouring of grief. His funeral marked him as a symbol of national unity, and his legacy as a leader was honored with an elaborate monument in Cleveland, Ohio. 8. The tragic end of President William McKinley by Leon Czolgosz. William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, served from 1897 to 1901. His leadership saw the US emerge as a global power, especially after the Spanish-American War in 1898. In September 1901, McKinley was shot twice by Leon Czolgosz, an anarchist, during an event. McKinley was rushed to the hospital but passed away on September 14, 1901, after lingering for a week. Leon, a disillusioned mill worker turned anarchist, believed in challenging the gap between the rich and the poor. He faced trial and was executed in the electric chair on October 29, 1901. McKinley's assassination shocked the nation. His death marked a turning point in how presidential security was handled and underscored the dangers of rising political radicalism. 7. The assassination of Mahatma Gandhi by Nathuram Godse. Mahatma Gandhi, known as the father of the Indian nation, led the movement for India's independence from British rule. He was globally admired for his philosophy of non-violent resistance to achieve social and political change. On January 30th, 1948, Gandhi was shot at close range by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu extremist. Godse accused Gandhi of favouring Muslims over Hindus. Witnesses reported that Godse fired 3 shots, killing Gandhi almost instantly. Godse was immediately arrested, and his later statement claimed he had even bowed to Gandhi before firing. Gandhi's assassination shocked the world, marking a tragic end to a life dedicated to peace and unity. 6. The assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. by James Earl Ray. Martin Luther King Jr. was a key leader of the American civil rights movement. From the mid-1950s until his assassination in 1968, he worked to end racial segregation and achieve equality through peaceful protests. His efforts earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, and he remains one of the most celebrated leaders in US history. On April 4, 1968, King was shot while standing on the balcony of a motel in Memphis, Tennessee. The shooter, James Earl Ray, was a small-time criminal who had escaped from prison less than a year earlier. For this act, he was sentenced to 99 years in prison. King's assassination marked a profound loss for the civil rights movement, but his legacy of equality and justice continues to inspire generations worldwide. 5. The assassination of Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, led the country through the Civil War and abolished slavery. Known for his humble beginnings and strong leadership, Lincoln remains an enduring symbol of democracy and unity. John Wilkes Booth, an actor and supporter of the South, assassinated Lincoln. On April 14, 1865, Booth learned Lincoln would attend a play at Ford's Theatre in Washington, D.C. That evening, he snuck into the president's box during the third act and shot Lincoln in the back of the head. Lincoln's assassination shocked the nation, marking a tragic end to his efforts to heal a divided country. His legacy as a champion of democracy and freedom continues to inspire people around the world. 4. The assassination of John F. Kennedy by Lee Harvey Oswald. John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, served from 1961 to 1963. He was the youngest person and the first Roman Catholic to hold the office. During his presidency, he faced major global challenges, including the Cuban Missile Crisis and tensions in Berlin. Despite these difficulties, Kennedy achieved significant milestones such as the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty and the Alliance for Progress. On November 22, 1963, President Kennedy was riding in a motorcade in Dallas, Texas, when he was fatally shot. The accused assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, allegedly fired 3 shots from the 6th floor of a nearby building. Kennedy's assassination shocked the nation and the world, marking a tragic end to his inspiring leadership. His vision and words continue to resonate as a symbol of hope and service. 3. The assassination of Julius Caesar by senators. At number 3, we have none other than Julius Caesar. By January 44 BC, he became dictator in perpetuity, meaning he would remain in power until his death. This alarmed many senators because they feared he would dissolve the Senate and rule as a tyrant. To stop this, a group of senators decided they had to kill Caesar. He went to a Senate meeting where he was met by Lucius Tullius Cimber, who pretended to have a petition for him. This was a distraction, and suddenly, the conspirators surrounded Caesar and stabbed him. In total, he was stabbed 23 times. Historical accounts suggest that about 60 senators may have been involved in the attack. Caesar's death marked a turning point in Roman history and showed how political power struggles were often settled through deadly plots. 2. The assassination of Henry IV of France by François Ravaillac. Henry IV of France, known as Good King Henry, was loved by his people but also made many enemies. This was mainly because of his religious tolerance. He often changed his religion throughout his life, which upset both strict Catholics and Protestants. In 1610, he was assassinated by a Catholic fanatic, François Ravaillac. Ravaillac attacked the king when Henry's carriage became stuck in a traffic jam in central Paris. Henry's assassination highlights how political leaders, no matter how loved or respected, can still fall victim to betrayal and violence. 1. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by Gavrilo Princip. This assassination earns the first spot on the list because it directly triggered World War I, a global conflict that shaped the modern world in countless ways. The death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand marked the beginning of a chain of events that led to massive global changes. Franz Ferdinand was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. In politics, he tried to strengthen the position of the crown while balancing the different ethnic groups in Hungary. On June 28, 1914, he and his wife, Sophie, were assassinated by Gavrilo Princip, a member of a secret group called the Black Hand. Gavrilo's act gave Austria-Hungary a reason to declare war on Serbia, which then escalated into World War I. This event highlights how a single assassination led to a global conflict, changing the course of history. The assassinations of these influential leaders show how a single act of violence can change the course of history. History teaches us that behind every assassination lies a complex web of motivations and consequences that shape the world we live in today. So, which name should have been on this list? Tell us in the comments below and subscribe to the Nautical Depths for more content like this.